I just don't know, man, y'all. When I really think about like Christianity and what is it like the whole thing of it, and like not just Christianity again, Islam and Judaism too, just all of them. Like it's so mean. It's so mean. They're such mean religions. They're such mean religions. They're so mean. I just don't like they're mean. They're mean. Hello, 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 and welcome back to Bri Speaks podcast. I am your host, Bri Speaks, who created the 7 narcissistic social hierarchies of control, which are patriarchy, capitalism, corporatism, racism, ableism, speciesism, and religion. Speciesism. Working on it, you guys. Working on it. Speciesism. Give me someone help me with that. All right. So humans over all other species is the narcissistic portion of that. And so today, what is today's topic? Today's topic will fall under it falls under religion. Religion. We're back to religion today. As a narcissistic hierarchy. And one characteristic of narcissistic hierarchies is a small elite group at the top of the hierarchy, or one singular person at the top of the hierarchy. Typically one singular person, and that rolls up until it's like smaller and then larger. It's a hierarchy, so very small at the top up to one, a large amount at the bottom. And so the entire concept of, and so I was thinking recently about the concept of monotheism and there only being one God in the Bible and the Torah and the Quran, the Abrahamic religions. There is one God. He is the highest God. He is outside of you, and he is all perfect. He's all knowing. He's all good. He's all powerful. He's just this wonderful being who can do no wrong. Even if it's wrong for you, it's not wrong for him, and it's always conditional, and he can change. And he's this ever loving, shifting being who's jealous and wants to be worshipped, and no one else can worship him, and he's the only God. And he's egotistical, and he's narcissistic, but he's perfect, and you have to follow him. But so we understand that is that one being above everyone else that is narcissistic. And so what is the opposite of that, or what is a different way, or what is a way that used to be? And it was polytheism. And I'm like, as someone who used to be Christian, I hear the word polytheism, and I'm just like my nervous system went like, ooh, it went like, ooh, like that's like, it's like even scary to like even talk about, like, oh, more than one God, that is so awful. But if you have seen my description of all of us being God is like being a part of, we're all a part of God. God is inside of all of us. All of us have our own God energy. You understand like that there are more than one God. I was thinking about how anything, again, always the narcissist is always going to invert everything and protect his insecurities. It steers you away from looking at things with multiple gods. So anyways, long story short is I was looking at multiple God, like polytheistic, like I don't even want to call them religions, but belief systems. And it dawned on me just how much better it was for humans as a whole to largely worship multiple gods versus just this one big bad beast of a powerful God. And here are my reasons why. So first reason was everyone had someone to relate to / had like a representation. Whenever you think about I think about the Orishas, in West Africa, they have like multiple gods. The same, like not the same, but they were first, and then the derivative of that was like Greek mythology. So you guys will know, most people will know about Zeus and Athena and Hercules and the Greek mythologies. But the god of thunder in West African mythology, his name was, what was his name? Shango. That was his name. Shango was around way before Zeus. Anyways, but so everyone has their own representation. It's like I think one of the most famous Orishas is Oshun. She's like the goddess of beauty and love in the West African Orishas. If you're familiar with West African Orishas, you'll know that a lot of the celebrities, like a lot of female celebrities who are also into West African mythology, they'll talk about how they are Oshun, or they embody Oshun, or they have Oshun energy, because she was like this, this beautiful, like performance kind of girl. So a lot of famous women who are relate to this, they talk about Oshun, having Oshun energy. But if you want, god of thunder energy, you can have Shango energy. Or I don't know, who's another one? Who was Oya? Oya was goddess of storm. Athena was goddess of war, which I'm just like, why they give? Well, I mean, I would say why they give Athena war, but I can see why people think women wouldn't go to war. Women will go to war. I don't understand why men think women are emotional. Women are not emotional. We consider emotion and emotional impact when we make decisions, but we are not emotional. Men are emotional and then they don't consider emotional impact while they make decisions, and they call that logic. They say, I'm being logical, I'm making a logical decision, although they're making a decision out of emotion, and that decision doesn't consider the impact on emotions of other people. So it's just it's narcissistic, it's evil, it's upside down. That's not. Anyways, so yeah, so different gods embody different strengths and weaknesses is really what I would say. It's like, okay, like Achilles' heel, he could run the fastest or something like that, but he wasn't dipped all the way, and so he had, one little vulnerable spot. But there was one person. You know what I'm saying? It's like whenever there were multiple gods, people saw gods as people, as God. If you ask people in indigenous communities, where is God? They would all say God is everywhere. God is among us. God is with us. God is here. God is here. God is everywhere. That's what they would say. They would not point to the sky. They would not say God is in the sky. They would not say that. That's weird. It's weird. It's a strange concept when you are actually when you actually tap into the spirit world. It's just like, as you said, in the sky. I guess it's like a higher frequency, yeah. So I guess, but no, it's not. It's not that. Okay, so because the gods had strengths and weaknesses, it gives permission for the people who are following these gods to also have strengths and weaknesses. So because we literally are raised under this perfect God who is always watching, this freaking omnipotent Santa Claus, another man always watching us. Why are there always men watching us in these Abrahamic religions? Why are there always men watching us? I don't want to be watched by a man. I really don't. Yeah, because there's only this one perfect person always watching, and if you're not perfect, then you're sinning. You're not worth it. You're worthless. You're less than. You're not good enough. It's just all the damnation starts. All the hurting, the beating of self, and the beating of self-esteem begins. Because that God is perfect and you're striving for perfection at all times. And if you can't get it, it's like he understands because he didn't expect you to succeed anyway. He always knew you would be a failure, but he wanted you to try anyways. And now that we know that now that you have validated or affirmed what he already knew about you, I guess now you can be thankful that he didn't punish you further. I just don't know, man, y'all. When I really think about Christianity, what is it the whole thing of it, and not just Christianity, again, Islam and Judaism too, just all of them, it's so mean. They're such mean religions. They're so mean. I just don't they're mean. Okay. Yeah. So having different guys that actually do have strengths and weaknesses allow people to have strengths and weaknesses, and allow having weaknesses to be more acceptable within the human race, because even the gods have weaknesses. So why would we, not expect weaknesses out of humans if the gods, even the gods have weaknesses? So it's that is a beautiful thing. And then because the gods have strengths and weaknesses, it promotes learning about community. Because everyone has strengths and weaknesses, their strength comes from coming together and utilizing each other's strengths and weaknesses, and complementing each other's strengths and weaknesses, and uplifting each other's strengths and weaknesses, and to build something greater together. That is literally the promotion of community, is having multiple gods who work together to, either accomplish a goal or not accomplish a goal, but they just live together in harmony. It's just, or, sometimes they bicker and they fight, but, eventually they come together or they start a community or something. But it's an example of what realistically happens when people work together who have different personalities and different unique qualities about themselves. That's a wonderful thing to have in a belief system. But instead, we are given the belief system of, here's this one perfect person and you can never be like them, but you're supposed to spend the rest of your life trying. Here you go. Ew, that is so mean. That is so mean. Y'all don't think that's so mean? Y'all don't think that's mean? Y'all don't think that's an evil thing to do to somebody, is to tell them, try to be perfect. I know you'll fail for the rest of your life, but give it a shot. But that is, it's not funny. It's not funny. I'm not laughing. I don't mean to be, it's not funny. It's not funny, but it's not, it's something else. I tell you what. Yeah. So another thing was that because there are multiple people who have multiple kind of like roles in this, God sphere, there is less contradiction. And so there's less confusion in general. In the Bible, God is so literally supposed to be all things all at once, this authoritarian figure and this kind, loving, nurturing person all at once. This jealous, egotistical God, but there's also like loving, forgiving, like all this stuff. And so it creates the expectation in the population of people who are following that religion that great and large contradictions within one person are normal or are true or are regular or are to be expected. And that is a awful precedent to set for humans, or for especially women, because we are trained through these religions to expect that, a person, i.e. God, can be this loving, nurturing person and also this person who will unalive everyone on the entire planet all at once. Because you are trained to expect all that at once, when you see that in person, which is this evil, awful, narcissistic person in your face who is, this loving, kind person in front of everyone, and then in closed doors, they're knocking you between the washing machine and the dryer. You are trained to expect that is normal. That one person can hold such great evil and such great good all in one person. Your brain is primed to believe that is a thing. But I am here to tell you, no, the fuck it's not. Like, people are people. People are like, the core being of people is the core being of people. Like, can those people be stretched to extremes from their core being? 100% sure. But that person's soul, like your spirit, your essence, the essence of who you are is the essence of who you are. You're not, God energy is your God energy. It is the God energy you were given the day you were born. You can traumatize it, you can mush it, you can change it, you can push it down, you can perform around it, you can do everything in the world to try to cover it up or change it or make it look like something else. But that essence of who you are on the inside of you is who you are on the inside of you. It's never going to go away. It's never going to go away. It's never going to change. It's never going to become a different person. It is going to be that person now and forevermore. And so, like, the actions of what is within your range of things you would do based on your energy, based on your character, based on who you are. But that is, again, it can sway back and forth, right? Depending on what part of context of you are in your life. And again, it can be stretched very far if you are placed in extremely extreme situations. Your essence will be stretched of what you would do in a normal situation will be stretched to the extremes. But it is not normal for a person to be one person in one facet of life or one area of life, and then be literally the exact opposite person in another facet of life. That is weird. That is strange. That is evil. That is the devil walking around in sheep's clothing. That is deception. That is lying. That is deceit. That is caricature. That is character. That is performance. That is a play. That is a movie. That is a make-believe. That is a book. That is disease. That is disorder. That is misalignment. That is trouble. That is all things that are bad. There is no regular person who is one person in one situation and scenario and is 180 degrees a different person in a different scenario, unless that person is completely disconnected from their soul. They are disconnected from their essence. They are disconnected from their God energy. They are if you are completely disconnected from everything that you are, then you can be anyone you want, anywhere you want, at any point in any time and place. You can are the shapeshifter, you are Mystique in the X-Men. You can be whoever you want to be whenever you want to be them. If you cut that cord, and then, which is literally, if you sell your soul, you cut that cord, and you say, I denounce everything of who I am, everything that God gave me, every unique ounce of me that I was born with, I toss it away to be whomever the world wants me to be, or I want to be in the world whenever I want to be that person to get whatever I want, no matter no matter how, what it does to the people outside of me. If you are that person, then you can be a different person. So all that to say, sorry, the Bible teaches us that there's one God, and that one God is all these things, and including and holds all these big contradictions. And God does have a lot of like real God energy. God like I don't want to say true God, but like the essence of energy that flows through all of us, that we all feel, that spirit energy. That does hold a lot of duality. But it's not a person. It's not like you can think of it as a person, but it's like it's a living entity. I wouldn't think of it as a person. It's a living entity that holds a lot of duality, but it's not a person. A person cannot do that. It's a real person who is connected to their soul and their essence and their God energy. They can't do that. And so, yeah, having multiple gods would teach women that, there is supposed to be consistency. There is supposed to be consistency in a person's personality, in a person's like framework of morality, sense of being. Like, they should be the same person in every they should be relatively the same person. You gotta adjust based on your setting. You gotta adjust your personal internal settings. Okay, I'm gonna be a little louder here, I'm gonna be a little quieter here. But your morals won't change depending on your setting. Your character won't change. Your personality won't change. How you present your personality will change, but like the core being of who you are is not going to be a completely different person, unless maybe you're in a place where you have to, you're in a survival mode where you have to disconnect from your soul, like, and you are performing hard, and you're doing it for survival. And then the more you're doing, the more you're selling, the more you are not living authentically yourself, is literally the more you are selling your soul. Like, I know again, I quit my corporate America job, so I know what it feels like to feel like you have to stay in those jobs, and you, like, I can't tell nobody to quit their job. What I did was crazy. It was nuts. I had a little nest egg saved, and so I was able, any women, if you're in any sort of relationship, good or bad, up or down, always have a nest egg in case you ever want to just get up and roll out. Not even if you have to, even if you just want to, even if you want to just say, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. Make sure you have yourself a little nest egg. And so, yeah, I had, I've had principles inside of me. And so I had my little nest egg. And so I was able to get up and go. And then I was blessed with some, blessings. And then that got me to where I am right now. And I don't know where, again, I don't know where I'm going exactly, but I'm enjoying the ride of just doing this and chatting with y'all. But yeah, but that performing, I've been there. I had to do it. I did it as authentically I could. I did as much as I could while still being authentically myself. But once I figured out that in order to rise the ranks, I would have to cut that cord, or at least I would have to start sawing away at it. I'd have to, like, that authenticity, that my true self, like, that these are things that I would do in my normal life and at work. Like, this is who I am. This is what I would do. First is like, I'm doing this just because of my work, and I would never do this in my real life. And I don't even agree with this, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I want this check. And that's slowly eating away at your soul. That's slowly cutting your cord between you and your soul. And because if you do it long enough, you will literally forget who you are. You will literally no longer be that person. And it's just, and then boom, and now you're a narcissist, and boom, and now you're a narcissist. And that is how it happened. And I feel like white people and men have to do that very early, is cut off I feel like they just learn very early, just cut off their connection to their soul and just do what I'm telling you to do, be what you're supposed to be, and you will be rewarded. And then boom, you're plugged into the 3D, boom, you're plugged into you're stuck in this world, feeling like your value comes from the things outside of you versus the things inside of you. Y'all, the universe inside of here is so much more expansive than this world. This world is fun. This world is fun. It's supposed to be fun. I'm now having a great time. Personally, life is life is life. Life is a party now. Life is a party. And that's what you want. You want to get to the point where your life is just like fun. It's just, you're doing stuff because it's fun. But you can't do that until you gather all of your power and you get all of your value from from your own approval. I was talking about it in the last episode about the Bible says when you die, you'll be judged by God. And while I said that, again, the Bible says things either inverted or like right beside the truth. And the truth is, whenever you die, your soul, your God energy will review your life. You will have your life review, and you, your highest self, your God self, you in your state of God, when you are in your God state, when your soul is no longer in your 3-dimensional body and you are in your God state, in your God energy state, you will have to look at your life and what you did in your life from that state of love. And so from that state of love, from that state of I am God, I am back to myself, what did I do? And am I happy with what I did? So you will judge yourself. You will look at what you did and be like, that was good, or like, why would you do that, girl? Or like, was that really worth it? Or like, are you like, you wish you would have did this? Like, it was like all that anger, all that pain when you could have just, lived in love. That is what you are going to like, you're going to judge yourself and later, and that will be God judging you. But the God that is judging you is not some random man that you don't know. It is you. It is you. You are going to be the judge of what you did in this life. And when you look back, you have to ask yourself, I'm not happy with what I did. Am I proud of what I did? Did I do what I wanted to do? Or did I waste my time and worry about things that actually never really, really mattered? That's my question. My girlfriend told me that. My girlfriend, shout out to my best friend, the one I'm about to go see in Ghana. Those are my bags. I'm so excited to go see her. She shout out to her because she reminded me of what I told her when I needed it back to me. Like I told her something and then I forgot I told her it. And then she told it back to me whenever I needed to hear it. And then she was like, girl, you told me that. And I was like, oh yeah, I did tell you that. I was like, wow, what banger advice. And again, this is even before I was like tapped in. But what I said, I had told her, so basically her situation was she was struggling with okay, I don't, I'm not gonna put her business out there, but she was struggling with the opinions of certain people in her life and like wanting to have favor in their opinions. And so she was, I feel like, exhausting herself, giving a lot of herself in order to get the favor, these high opinions of these people. And so then I turned around, I asked her one day, and I was just like, but what about your opinion of you? I was like, what about how you feel about yourself? What about your opinion matters too? Your opinion of yourself matters. And that's what she told me. And then she gave that back to me later whenever I needed it. But that is like, I thought I don't, you don't realize it, but you put your opinion of yourself so low. Most people don't care. Like they don't, it's either they like dislike themselves, like actively, like, oh, I'm, like I dislike myself, they actively say it, or they insult themselves saying, I'm not pretty, or I'm too big, or I'm not muscly enough, or, all these negative comments that people make to themselves, which is just yuck. And then if it's not like that and it's just, it's neutral. I don't know if people compliment themselves, you should compliment yourself. I compliment myself all the time. Every time first of all, every time I put out a video, I'm like, ooh, girl, that was a good video. Whenever I do my makeup, I'm just like, ooh, girl, you make it look so good. Me and myself, we go together. But yeah, I just want people to think about their own opinions of themselves more often, because it's like we are taught to look for external validation. We are taught to look at numbers on a stock ticker, or numbers on a bank account, or grades at school, or numbers on a paycheck, or numbers in a K account, or numbers on a house value. It's just like all these external markers of success that just like, it's just like, they don't matter. They just, ooh, I know people are not going to want to hear like money matters. Money matters. It matters, but it does not determine your value. Your money, how much money you have, does not determine your value. That is like what I'm trying to get people to really internalize, is like what you have inside of you. And it doesn't matter, again, just the fact that you are alive and breathing as a human being on earth, you have value. Like that is my marker of value. And I need everyone to understand, like, that is the marker of value of like, if you have life, if you have God energy inside you, I'm like, if you have God, and that's, again, that's plants, that's animals, that's people. Honestly, that's even rocks, and crystals. But hey, we don't have to go there. Yeah. So that was it's my quick and dirty on why it was better that we had multiple gods as a people. It just gave us a better understanding of what diversity looks like, diverse opinions, diverse strengths and weaknesses, working together with diverse people, community, strength in numbers, working together, and consistency in personhood. I know it's such a strange and niche and nuanced thing that I have an issue with, but it is something that I just want more people to recognize is like people are who they are. And if who they are makes no sense, that means they make no sense. And you should run, girl, run. Or guy or whomever. Yeah. And then none of these systems really make sense. None of these systems make sense when you attack them with the lens and the perspective that you're supposed to attack them with. But I am not here to tell you how to think. That is what cults and narcissists do. I am here to give you a different perspective, a different way to think, a different, line of thought. And if you resonate with it, if it vibes, if it floats with your frequency, if it tunes into your radio station, then you could take it with you and then, share it around. And if it doesn't, then, thanks for coming anyways. I appreciate your time and your attention. Yeah, miss having multiple gods. I think it was just a better way of life, and it taught people that consistency and personality is the norm. And yeah, it gives people more autonomy and agency. That is all. You don't have to, I mean, again, in worship is, how about say you don't have to worship multiple gods? Like, in worship is not the way that I think of God. Again, God is all of us. And we should appreciate and love all of us. Worship is, you can worship, worship feels too strong. It feels too strong. We should love ourselves thoroughly and deeply. But you shouldn't worship gods. You should embody their energy. You should embody the energy of certain gods, energies. And that's what I talk about with Jesus. The Bible says you have to go through Jesus to get to the Lord. And Jesus is not in the patriarchy, and like narcissism tells you in order to do that, you have to say out your mouth, confess with your mouth that Jesus was your savior and he died for your sins and you accept him as your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. And that is the narcissistic way of giving your life to Jesus. But if you think of it energetically, Jesus was love. Jesus was the energy of love. Jesus was love. And so in order to get to your God state, your energy, your God energy, like your highest self, you have to get to a state of love. And I always tell people the spirit realm is love. The spirit realm feels like love and peace and stillness. It is a beautiful thing. And if you want to get to the spirit realm too, buckle up and start to love meditation. Meditation is how you get there. It is in your subconscious. Well, not in your well, yeah, it is in your subconscious, but how do you explain the spirit realm? And then meditation is one way and the easiest way to get there. I would say that it's the most proven way to get there. But yeah, just learn how to so homework for you guys today, since this is a short episode and I usually talk for 90 minutes. For the next hour, you should meditate. And I don't mean meditate like sit on your bottom and then hum to yourself, which you can. Humming is a great way to calm your nervous system and and raise your frequency, which is why they do them. Like it is a good tool. It's good for pulling in your focus. It's good. But I love for really like touching the spirit realm, like lay down in your bed and like just lay down. If you have good headphones, it's really good too. And then put on some whatever is the most relaxing sounds the relaxing, non-distracting sounds. So like I personally, I like um binomial beats. Is that what they call it? Binaural beats. It's just like it's like a hum. It's like a hum. But some people, you're gonna like waves. Some people are gonna like rain sounds. Some people are gonna like wind sounds. But like something that's not going to something. I like the beats because it's like one tone. It's like one tone for for an hour, literally for an hour. And so nothing gets in, nothing gets out, and it's like it's very enough. It's not. It's like if I listen to like Wilderness or something like that, I'll hear the waves and they're like and there's like a bird. Then I'll start thinking about birds. Then I'll start thinking about how some birds have been here since Jurassic Park. And I started thinking about Jurassic Park, and that was in the 90s. And then in the 90s, they had this cool fashion. And then I was a 90s baby, and now I'm like out. It'll it'll trigger my ADHD. And so when I listen to things that are just like monotonal, it doesn't trigger my ADHD. So to get to the spirit realm, lay in your bed, Put on something that is extremely relaxing and non-distracting, and then relax every single muscle in your body. Like relax every single muscle in your body. Close your eyes. Dark, 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 dark is dark is the feminine energy. Dark is the void, right? Void is like dark is chaos, and chaos is not a bad thing. I call chaos the great equalizer. Chaos is wherever there's chaos, that's where you can build something new. That's where creation happens. Out of chaos comes creation. Out of chaos comes creation. Chaos is a feminine energy. It's a creation energy. So anyways, the darker the better. It's very similar to if you watched what's the girl? Stranger Things. If you watch Stranger Things, Elle goes into the meditation tape and it's super dark and there's no sounds, and then she ends up in the subconscious. It's exactly that. It's literally exactly that. You want to make yourself a space as dark as possible, or if you want to do like the little the little sleep mask. You could do sleep mask and headphones to make yourself what is it called? There's a tank, a sensory deprivation tank. You really want to get yourself in a state of sensory deprivation, and that is how you're unplugging from the 3D. You're unplugging from the material realm. And that is that's why you're closing your eyes. You're cutting out any noise that you can cut out, and only having sounds that put you in a deeply relaxed and a deeply relaxed state. Okay, so you're laying in your bed, you got your headphones on, you got your mask on, and you got your good relaxation sound happening, and then you start breathing. You start doing deep breaths. I like to do boxes of 4. So like breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds. And because it's a slightly unnatural rhythm, because it's usually like, just breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, it makes you focus. So it makes you focus, and then so you can focus on your breathing and your body, and then just relaxing. And then just, I don't know, then this is what I start doing. And then I start talking to myself about just like that I am relaxed, like I am safe, nothing in this, make sure this is, during a time where no one can come in and bother you, because you cannot feel like, oh, I don't want someone to come in and then, wake me up. Like that if you have that fear that someone's going to come in and bother you, then you're not going to get to the spirit realm. Sorry. Because you have to get to the state of peace, love, and stillness. And it's just exists. It is the state of, I feel loved without, like, I just am love. I am, but like that love comes from but I am relaxed. I am still. I am safe. I am worthy, and I am loved, and I am valuable from just being here, from just existing. So like I kind of say versions of that in my head as I relax. It's just like I am relaxed and I am safe. I am worthy, if you will. Which I don't think I say I am worthy. That sounds a little weird. Yeah, just like that. I am relaxed. I am safe. And then make sure you're relaxed in every single part of your body. And then don't move. And then don't move. And then don't move. And don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. If you have to scratch or something, just try not to scratch. Try not to scratch. It's going to go away after a while. Your body, it likes to check if you're asleep or not. And so if you scratch, your body will be like, oh, you're still awake. And then your brain won't sink into its subconscious. So you want to stay as still as possible, relax as deeply as you can, shut out the world around you, and just exist as a person who is happy to be alive. And just exist as a person who is happy to be alive. I don't care if you got debt. I don't care if you got kids. I don't care if you got a husband or a wife. I don't care if you got addiction problems. I don't care if you got gambling issues. I don't care if you got, a divorce. I don't care if you're having a crisis. I don't care if, your parent just passed away. I don't care if you just found out the worst news of your life. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. Just lay down and exist in the now, in a state of, I'm happy to be alive. I am grateful to, not even, you don't even have to be happy like that. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be alive. And I exist, and I'm still in, I still have love. I'm still loved. I still feel love. I still am a part of love. Yeah. And God is inside of me, and I am God, and God is always with me, and all that stuff. Just relax and think good, relaxing, positive things about love, peace, stillness, and your highest self. Yeah. And do that for, I'd say I can do it forever. I can do it forever. I can do it forever. I can do it for hours, because once you sink in and you're like, you probably, some people will fall asleep, but once you get to the part where your body is so relaxed, but your mind is awake and active and, alive and, working and ready to go, your mind can start doing other stuff. And then you start going into the spirit realm, and then you start feeling the love and the stillness and the peace and the joy and the goodness that is the spirit realm. It's good. It's anyways, very I would love for everyone to feel such peace and stillness. Like, that's one way to get there. That's one way. That's, I feel like, one of the easiest ways. And it takes time, and you'll the deeper you can get, you'll start feeling you'll start feeling the sense of peace and love and protection and wholeness and I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it's beyond words, but it's a lovely place. It's a lovely feeling. Yeah, and all you have to do is believe. I know that sounds crazy, but yeah, nah, that's the monks in them. They've been meditating for hours and hours and hours, and that you think they don't know stuff. This is what they know. I'm telling you, I'm giving y'all the tea. I'm giving you the juice. I'm giving you the sauce. Take it if you want it. Take it if you want it. You don't. But this is one meditation technique that I love. Is one of my favorites. And like, I'll start crying sometimes, like, while it happens, because it's just like when you get that sense of like, I'm home, I'm safe, I'm loved, I'm peace, and you get there, like, it's so good. It makes you want to cry. I literally have started crying. Anyways, I hope that was a fun and informative episode. If you enjoyed and you learned something today, please do feel free to donate to my Cash App. Tips are welcome and appreciated over here at Bri Speaks too. That's BRISPEAKS, the number 2. Yeah. How do you feel about multiple gods? Do you feel like that's blasphemy? Or do you feel like it was a cool and different way of living that had its own benefits? Do you feel like it's the same? You feel like it worse? What do you think? Anyways, thanks for coming. I hope you enjoy, and good luck meditating. Have fun. See you in the spirit realm. Till next time. Love you. Bye-bye.